What's going on? Reflection, much love. We're going to talk about creating balance within your life. So, balance is very, 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 very essential. You could just think about being very dizzy or something of that nature and just trying to walk in a straight line. Keeping your balance moving forward could be very difficult and can throw you off your path pretty quick. So, with that, you want to have balance on as many different dimensional planes as you can. So we're multi-dimensional beings. So there's many different aspects to us. So within those aspects, there's always poles that you'll have to find the center point and balance with. So for an example of this, and we'll go through some other ones too, in your physical body, okay, you'll want to find balance within your physicality. So that can be just like your pure center of gravity balance in that manner. Doing like one footed postures. If you're into yoga, you can practice like a tree pose, eagle pose, dancers, things of that nature. Both sides, right? So being able to stand on one foot as well as the other foot, okay? You can also just stand upright and then feel where the weight is in your feet and if you can balance the pressure in both of your feet. Okay, all of this is gonna balance those aspects. Okay, and then looking deeper into the physicality aspect of this, the strength and flexibility. Okay, so you want to have that equal relationship between the two, and every single joint that you have, every single muscle relationship that you have, is every single one of those relationships is going to reflect the whole aspect of your physical body. Okay, so yoga practice is very excellent for that. It'll help create that balanced relationship between the two. You can always add in other other means of physically working out. I would recommend having some type of cross training. Okay, there's I like to do a lot of gymnastic style workouts as well. Okay, so those types of things will give you, as yoga, you're going to strengthen muscles, but it's very much leaning towards the flexibility side of it. Okay, so having something that's gonna complement it, okay, will help out a lot. Swimming is another very good one to work with. Okay, things that I personally, when I'm doing physical workouts, I really like body weight type workouts. Okay, so just working with your physical body in general. So finding that relationship between, having a strong bicep, where you can obviously pull your arm up, but still have full range of motion within your arm, okay? Or like strong shoulders, but you can scratch your back kind of thing, right? So, very, very essential. And another thing that you can think of too is just like having strong legs and a strong back and core and all that, but still be able to bend down and pick something up without hurting yourself. Okay, that's where like the balance is going to be very important. You want to have that full range of motion where you can easily perform tasks in your day so that you don't have any trouble with them. Okay, and just kind of moving on from there, within your emotional body. Okay, so just to kind of like correlate it to the physical body, like you want to have strength so you can, lift things and move things and, move yourself through life. And you want to have the flexibility to be able to move through them with grace and ease. Just like that, you want to be able to feel all your emotions as well. Okay, they're all going to help you out in a certain manner. Okay, so allow the emotions to come in, and when they do come in, sit with them. Understand why this specific emotion is coming through. I just watched a video on emotions where it was living through emotions rather than from emotions. Okay, so not allowing the emotions to dictate your day, but rather allowing them to come in and then understanding why that specific emotion is coming in, whether that is a thing of joy, or an emotion of joy, or sadness, excitement, depression, whatever it is, whatever pull, right, that it's on, you want to honor it, acknowledge why it's coming in, okay? And then you can learn from that. Oh, well, this, depression is coming in because X, Y, and Z, right? Whenever I'm around X, Y, and Z or participate in X, Y, and Z, I feel depressed. Okay? So when you have that depression come in, sit with it, understand it. Don't let it control your day, and every single thing that you move into, you're carrying that bag of depression with you. Right? You are able to sit with it, break it down, dissolve it, get the energy flowing through your emotions more again, and then when you go into a different experience, then you don't have that bag of depression with you. Okay? And even joy, like joy is an extremely blissful emotion to be in, but you got to be real with yourself at the same time. Okay, so sit with the joy and enjoy it, right? So, joy comes in and you're like, oh shoot, yeah, this is great, I'm loving it, and then again, like as that time moves away, or that activity or person or whatever that brought that joy into your life, sit with it, work with it for a while, and then dissolve it. Come back to your center point so that when you move into a different experience, then you can truly be centered, you can be balanced, so that you can understand what that experience, what that person, whatever that X, Y, and Z is that you're next moving into is going to communicate to you. So that you can understand, okay, well, this isn't working out with me. It's bringing back that depression. Like, I want to get back to the joy. So I need to remove that activity, remove that person, remove whatever it is out of my life so that I can have more joy, because it's obviously better for me. I feel so much better. Okay? And not that it's right or wrong for you to experience joy or to experience depression or anything of that nature. It's just, it's a learning process for you to line yourself up, because no matter what, you're going to go through experiences that are going to bring either or, on whatever pole that it is. Okay? Even if you remove X, Y, and Z that's causing depression, there's going to be something else down the road that's going to bring that to you, and it's going to be in a different form. Okay? So, but being able to stay centered, right, then when that next experience or person that comes in that's trying to bring in that depression or anxiety or whatever it is to you, you're already centered, and you'll sense that energy coming in before it even happens. Okay, so when it does come in and that energy is trying to move into your energy, don't let it. Come back, stay centered. As it's moving in, use that technique of dissolving the emotion, transmuting it. Okay? So that if you're in that particular space for a while, you can at least transmute it, and it's not going to affect your day, it's not going to wreck you, and you're not going to carry it along to an area that you want to be more blissful, and the people are more blissful, but you don't bring along that crap. Okay? So, again, ways to balance yourself. Either end of the pole, you want to come back to that center point so that you can truly flow through. Okay? And then moving into your mental body. So in your brain, you have two different hemispheres. You want to create that balanced relationship between the two. So it's going to be your logic and reason, and then with your intuition and creativity. You want to have a balanced relationship between the two. So if you tend to be very analytical, okay, not that that's right or wrong, you'll just want to balance that with more creativity, more intuition, understand, just let it flow through with whatever's coming in. Trust what you're perceiving mentally and flow with it. Okay? And ways that can help with this, I've brought this into other topics that I've discussed, is geometries. Geometry, curved lines are feminine, straight lines are masculine. So there's one way you can look at geometric patterns that will help with that. Just real quick with it, Metatron's cube is a fairly well balanced design. Flower of Life is a feminine design, and Sri Yantra is a masculine design. Okay, so working with those, focusing your mind on those patterns will give you a greater ability to harness whatever energy that you need, whether it's more of the feminine side, the creative, intuitive side, or more the masculine, the more logical, more reasonable side. Okay, or maybe you just need to really enhance the form a stronger bridge between the two. You're already fairly well balanced, and you want to create a greater relationship to move the energy between the two and connect the hemispheres more. Then Metatron's cube might be a little more suitable for you in the moment. Okay, and then that will give you a greater ability to break things down on such a greater level. You have the logic, you have the reason to understand why something's like that. At the same time, you can think outside of the box and use your intuition to perceive things that might not be so surface level that you can analytically and logically break down. Okay? So again, very important to have that relationship balance on all fronts. And then spiritually, you want to have a balanced relationship between your spiritual being, which is your primary life force. That's who you are. Your spiritual being having a human experience. Okay, so an example of this, of creating balance between the two, I just took a trip to Mexico, okay? And it was an extremely spiritual experience. Even though I was moving through in the physical body, like my physical body went to Mexico to see these pyramids for the equinox, it was spiritual intention, okay? So when I was there, I was meditating a lot. And I was picking up on different energy flows and everything. It was very, very awesome, beautiful time. But while I was there, I didn't have balance between my spiritual self and my physical self. Okay? These things will intertwine with one another. So what was happening was I was way outside of my body a lot of times, my physical body, and I wasn't present in the human form. And what happened was I got straight roasted by the sun. I was a straight up lobster. I still am a little bit of a lobster, but man, next couple days after my experience, it was bad. It was really bad. I was fire truck red. So having that balance, being able to perceive very highly spiritual energies that are around you, but still keeping yourself grounded in the physical form so that you can stay in this avatar for as long as you can and gain the experience, the awareness of life in this type of incarnation. Okay, so that's just one aspect of the balance spiritually. But also, being able to remember you're a cell within yourself. Okay, so CELLF, yourself. Okay, you just as you have cells, trillions of cells within your being, this being, it's the same thing. Your being is a cell within yourself. Okay? So having a balanced relationship between those, being able to understand that you are an individual cell performing a specific function within yourself, just as a cell within your heart or your brain or your eye or so on and so forth is perform my mind went blank for a second, performing a specific function within yourself. You are performing a specific function within your higher self, your multidimensional self. Okay? So being able to have that balanced relationship between the two, understand that you're on your own little journey, but at the same time everything is connected and you're part of a bigger journey than just your own little individual self, little c self, rather than the big C, big journey self. Okay? So having that relationship, understanding that you are one piece of the puzzle, but at the same time you're the entire puzzle. You made the puzzle. You made the person that made the puzzle. And so on and so forth. Okay? So having and just to break down some other things, you might have like the interconnectedness, right? So you can study yourself, your little c self, to get a bigger understanding of the big C self. Okay? So like I was saying with like the like my spiritual body and my physical body. Like I didn't have that balanced relationship and I got toasted by the sun quite good. Not even toasted, I got roasted. and so I didn't have that relationship. Everything's intertwined, everything's connected. Okay? So you might have a specific emotion coming in that's driving your physical form to do something. Okay, you might have an emotional desire to do something. Are you going to let your emotions drive your avatar to go do something? Is that what is really in your highest good? Try coming to center. Feel that emotion that's coming in. Okay? Dissolve it. And then understand where it was pulling you to, and then use your balanced hemispheres in your mind. Be like, okay, well, use your logic. This emotion was coming in and it wanted my physical body to go do this. So I'm going to break this down mentally, analytically and logically, as well as creatively and in an intuitive sense. Okay, so I can see all angles of the situation and understand, is it really in my highest good to follow what that emotion was pulling me to do? Or should I stay centered more and keep flowing? And many times that's the best choice, is to keep yourself centered and flow. Okay? So when you are balanced, that's what happens, is life flows. It's like you don't even have to think. You're not being like tugged one way or the other. Anything. It's just things start happening around you. And like, wow, this is great. I'm stepping out of the way. I'm getting out of myself, out of my own way, to just let things flow. Okay? Because that's what happens. You can think about just a metaphor to work with too, like a river in its natural state. You in your natural state are balanced. That's who you are. You're a balanced being. Okay, that river is balanced, just flowing through. Then all of a sudden, a human being comes along, an emotion, a thought pattern, some program that you have running in your spirit, something of that nature comes along and builds a dam to your river, stops the flow, backs you up, right? Congests all of your energy. There's no longer a flow. You can't get to where you're naturally supposed to be going to because you're backed up. You don't have that balance anymore. Okay? So what I would recommend if you're getting into this is take it one spoonful at a time, right? Like work on your physical body, and then move on to your emotional body, work on your mental body, get into your spiritual body from there, or any order that you feel is most appropriate for yourself. Some people connect more with their emotions than their physical body, or more connect mentally than anything else, or spiritually than anything else. So find the point that resonates most with you, and that you're just like, boom, like I jive with this the most. So I'm going to work here. I'm going to weigh balance this in all aspects. And you're going to tune in a way that what I'm talking right now is just to get the wheels turning for you. Okay? So then when you get into it, you're going to have your own intuition. You're going to have your own emotions, your own guidance, right? That's going to come in and be like, yeah, like do this, do that, move yourself over here, position things over there. Okay? And things will start to flow. You'll start to remove those dams, those blocks that are in your way, and you can just flow on through life. That's what it's about. It's supposed to be about grace and ease and, having a good time while you're doing it. Alright? Again, joy is an amazing emotion to experience, and that's what you want. That's where you want your energy to be flowing towards. Is those joyful experiences, those blissful experiences, things that happen that you can't even describe, you can't even explain, because it flowed in. You're like, how did this even come about? It came about because you were in balance and you were flowing, and your big self has your back. Okay? So that's about all I got right now. As always, keep tuning in, keep flowing on your own, and I'll see you next time. Peace.